Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Now, as you can see from the title of this video, this is going to be going over how to create 1% sales reps. Now, there's not many, but anyone can become one. It just takes the right training and the right steps and the right management to create them. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it. Now, to give you guys a little bit more background as to who I am and why I should be speaking on this subject, my name is Leo. I'm the founder of CLOSR, a remote sales agency. And initially, I'm a washed up football player. I'm the average gym goer. I'm the founder of Noble Fitness, which was an online personal training coaching business. We scaled that to a few employees and a few affiliates, so that was pretty cool. Afterwards, I also became a growth partner at AI Clinics, which has worked with over 100 clients now, and it's a 6-figure marketing agency. And not too long after AI Clinics, I actually founded CLOSR, the remote sales agency, and across all of our clients, we've been able to set, manage, and close more than $2.6 million worth of appointments and close deals put together. So I'd like to think that I'm at least somewhat qualified to speak on this subject. So before I continue with the rest of the presentation, I thought I'd give you a little bit more context as to what CLOSR, my remote sales agency, does. What we do is we place fully trained sales teams into different businesses. CLOSR's, appointment setters, you name it, we have the sales reps available. So this is why I'm going to be talking about the hiring, onboarding, and management aspect of your sales reps. Now, let's think about it. Why are sales reps important? Well, if you have good sales reps, they'll save you time. They'll grow your company and they'll generate more revenue. And how can we expect to grow if we don't have more time and money within the business? And in order to do so, when it comes to your ideal sales rep, right, here are the top 5 traits of killer sales reps that you should be looking out for when hiring them in. So the first trait that I thought I'd bring up is communication skills. Now, how can we expect a sales rep to convert for your business if they can't express themselves effectively and communicate clearly? So communication skills are going to be really important, especially when it comes to the sales rep using your offer and converting deals for you. Now, the next trait after communication skills that is really important is empathy, because connecting with your prospects is the key to sales. If you can't connect with your prospect, you're not going to sell. After empathy, we have hunger. Hunger is really, really important because you could be the best closer, you could be the best appointment setter in this world with the most amazing track record. But if you don't go the extra step to close a deal, if you don't go the extra step to convert an appointment, then how can we expect to close at a high rate if 30 to 40% of your prospects require follow-ups and your sales rep isn't willing to do that? So hunger is super important because you can't train hunger. So the next step after hunger is coachability, because if your potential sales rep isn't willing to learn, isn't willing to be coached by someone better than them and drop their ego, how can we expect them to grow into that 1% sales rep? Because what separates the good sales reps from the best sales reps is the willingness to learn. So coachability is super important. And finally, after coachability, we have competitiveness. Now, this trait is super important because if your sales rep isn't competitive within the team, then how can we expect them to go beyond the KPIs that you set them? If they're only aiming for the minimum amount of conversions or just that number that secures their spot, how can we expect them to grow and kill it in terms of sales for your business? And it's not about being the best person on the team. It's about that hunger, that drive, that motivation, and that competition, which actually closes more deals for your business. So always look for a competitive spirit. Now, to move on to the next question, how do we hire the right person? Well, first off, as we already mentioned, accounting for those 5 killer traits is going to be super important because that's going to give you sort of like an insider as to whether or not they meet that ideal sales rep profile for your business. 2 is look for solid sales experience. This one is subjective because if your business is just starting out, then you might have the time and you might be able to afford taking someone who hasn't had much experience in terms of sales and teaching them to be that top closer. However, if you run an established business that's already killing it in terms of the sales, but you guys just want to level up, or maybe there's just one aspect of your sales that you really need to fix and you need someone to come in and kill the game for you guys, then I'd recommend looking for solid sales experience. Now, let's say they have a ton of sales experience in other industries and in other fields. Should you still hire that rep? In my opinion, yes. Because if you're a top sales rep, if you're good at sales, you can work under any product, under any offer, and sell it regardless. After sales experience, you want to complete psychometric tests. This is going to give you a little bit more of an insight into their personality, their strengths, their weaknesses, and what they're good at in terms of sales and the things that you should be looking out for in terms of what they're going to be covering during that training period of when they're onboarded into your business. And finally, you want to consider value and goal alignment, because if this person doesn't align with the goals of this business, or they don't align with the company culture, or they don't have the same goals and they're just looking for something temporary, then maybe this isn't the best fit. And this one, I would say, is one of the most important ones to really look out for alongside those 5 traits, because it's really going to be the main tell as to whether or not they're a good fit for your business and whether or not you should move forward and onboard them. And now that I've mentioned onboarding, how do we onboard a sales rep? Now, first off, in terms of your sales rep onboarding, I would recommend creating a structured onboarding process. Now, this is an onboarding process that we have at CLOSR with all of our clients and sales reps, and this is what we show both sides when we first start working with them. And the reasons as to why I would create a structured process in terms of your onboarding for reps, for clients, whatever it is because it's going to be more efficient, it's going to save you guys time, and it'll also somewhat sort of play into the client expectations or sales rep expectations, because now, as you guys progress through the steps, everyone's going to know what's going to happen next. So I would recommend creating a structured process. Afterwards, I would also recommend creating product training courses. This is going to save you so much time and so many calls that you'd have to do otherwise if you didn't have any courses in place. The reason why this is so important is because if your sales reps need some time to get to speed up on your product, on your offer, what you're selling so far, a product training course that walks them through that is going to be really ideal, and it's going to save everyone time throughout that process. Afterwards, you want to make sure that you assign supervisors for guidance. Now, the reason for this is because you want to hold that sales rep accountable throughout the onboarding and sort of that adjustment period process. Because if there's no check-ins, if there's no accountability, how can we expect them to actually take the steps to be onboarded and fully trained up on your product and start converting for you guys? Now, after onboarding, how do we train a sales rep? Well, when it comes to training a sales rep, product training, like I said, is very, very important. This is going to get them up to speed on your product. And I'm not just talking about courses. Yes, they're useful, especially in terms of the onboarding/adjustment period, but doing seminars, getting maybe some of your sales reps to hop on a call with them to show them their sales process and show them how they convert the deals on that offer so far, that's going to be super useful. Afterwards, role plays. Role plays every single day, or at least every other day during the week, is super important, because that's going to essentially practice your sales reps' objection handling, and it's going to make sure that they're ready for the next call that they take under your product. Now, aside from role plays, call recordings are also super important, because now your sales rep can take the time to assess everything that they do during their calls, during their meetings with every single prospect, and then from there capitalize off of that on to the next call so that you can close the next prospect. So sales reps doing call recording reviews is really important, and I'd recommend you do this with your entire internal sales team. Aside from call recordings, objection analysis is super important. Now, this is a little bit different to role plays and call recordings, because this is more data-driven tracking. And the way that this works is you would have sort of like a sales tracker in place, and maybe like an objection tracker as well, because every single call that your sales rep should take, you need to find the most common objections so that you can slowly start to eliminate them as you progress through every single call that you do. And one more thing. The reason why objection analysis is super important for your business is because it keeps your sales logical, not emotional. Because a sales rep could potentially be rejected for 6 calls in a row, but that one call after 6, if they continue, they can close another 5. And this is why we have objection analysis, so that that person doesn't quit and they continue to push through. And finally, one of the other most important things is self-study, because if they can consume content or sales knowledge or sales experience from very professional individuals and people who have experience in the game for a while, then they can take all of the techniques and the knowledge that they learned from those individuals and apply that to your calls so that they can convert more deals for your business. So after we've trained up a sales rep, how do we manage them from there? Well, first off, I would recommend daily check-ins, because one-on-one calls are super important, not just in terms of sales, but for the emotional side of things as well. Now, keeping your sales logical and not emotional is easier said than done. It's definitely tough sometimes, especially after rejections. So daily check-ins and one-on-ones are super important, because now you can get in the head of that sales rep, and then you can check in with them, support them, and then from there create a plan that gets them back on their feet in the next few days so that they can convert more deals. After that, as a part of that logical and data-driven approach in terms of sales, CRM tracking is super important. This is going to ensure that you can get call recordings in place, you can monitor the conversions, you can monitor what's been going well, what's not been going well so far in terms of the sales, and this is going to give you that data-driven approach. So managing from there through that CRM that you use, a lot of people use GoHighLevel, and I would recommend that one specifically, but CLOSR, Salesforce, they're also really good ones. So CRM tracking is super important. Alongside CRM tracking, setting KPIs is also super important. KPIs are super important because now that sales rep has a number in mind that they need to exceed every single month. And this is going to make sure that your team meets a certain quota and you guys close at least a certain amount every month so that you can make predictable revenue. Alongside KPIs, gamification during that management process is going to be super important, because if you can gamify conversions, if you can gamify closed deals and appointments, it's going to make it more engaging for all of your employees, your sales reps, and the people taking all of these calls. Maybe you guys get on a team call and you see, okay, whoever gets the most conversions this week gets this certain bonus or incentive. So I'll speak a little bit more about incentives and bonuses later in this video, but gamification is going to create a more engaging and more fun environment for your employees and sales reps. So I would definitely recommend this. And the final thing as a part of the entire management process for sales reps is leadership support. Because ultimately there's two types of sales reps. There's one that wants to just work a sales rep job for the rest of their lives and they're okay with being an employee. That's awesome, nothing wrong with that. And two, there's always going to be those who start out as a sales rep or they have a lot of experience as a sales rep, but their ultimate goal is to become an entrepreneur just like yourself. This is where leadership support is super important, because if we can create an environment that actually supports them on that journey, they're actually going to work harder for your business, believe it or not. And an example of that would be maybe setting up a meeting between yourself as the founder of this business and that sales rep so that they could take as much knowledge away from you. And this is actually a great approach for sales reps that want to go down that path, because now since you've given them so much value, they're going to put as much value back into your business by converting more deals. So leadership support is actually super important when it comes to managing sales reps and keeping them in check. Now, how do we compensate a sales rep? Obviously, we have salary, commission, whatever the negotiated pay structure is. I don't really need to go into the subject as much, but I think you can understand as to why this is really important throughout the entire process of getting sales reps and managing them. And after salary, we have bonuses and incentives. The reason why this is super important is because this will ensure that your sales reps will go beyond when it comes to KPIs, and they will aim to convert as many deals as possible to get that desired bonus and that desired outcome. So having bonuses and incentives in place in terms of conversions and KPIs is super important, and it may close more deals for you. And finally, whether it's a sales rep that wants to stay in the business and as an employee forever, that's fine. Or whether or not someone that actually wants to go down the entrepreneurship journey, that's totally cool. But in either scenario, you want to create a personal development plan while they're at your business. Creating some sort of personal development plan for all of those sales reps actually shows a little bit more as to where you see them going in terms of their potential. And this is actually going to be really useful, because this is going to have sort of that mutual expectation between yourself and that sales rep as to how much they should be contributing during their time at your business. So creating a personal development plan, not just for more conversions, but actually to support and nurture your sales reps, is super important. And after having gone through all of that, let's go over what we covered today. So we've covered your ideal sales rep profile, we've covered your hiring process for sales, we've covered your sales onboarding process, we've covered your training for sales reps, we've covered your sales rep management process, and your compensation process for sales reps. But I did want to share an important takeaway. So I've shown you exactly how you hire, train, and manage sales reps so that you guys can make more money with your company. And I've literally just given you all of the steps to create those 1% sales reps that grow your business for you. But even if I've given you all of these steps, it takes so much more to hire, train, and manage all of your sales reps to build a team of killers. But at CLOSR, we literally do everything for you. Because our goal at CLOSR is to add an additional $100,000 with your own sales team, all done for you, and all you have to do is pay the sales reps for everything they've closed. So if you want a sales team that generates $100,000 plus consistently without having to do anything, just like Orion, Harvey, and Samira, Book a call with me right now by clicking the first link in the description. Watch my VSL, my interviews, book a call, and I'll generate your business more sales. So I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this video and sort of got a little bit of an insight as to how you should hire sales reps, how you train sales reps, how you onboard them, how you manage them, and so on. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys can leave a comment, subscribe, like, maybe follow, that would be really helpful as I'm planning to make a lot more content like this. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.